Hey guys, welcome to the Homestead. It's early spring and you're walking around the woods and you see these plants that are about a little less than knee high, and they're all over the place in different patches. It's the mayapple. The mayapple right there. See the mayapple? This one here has a flower on it. Some of these have two stems, some of them have one a single stem. It's the two-stemmed ones like this that you see here that had the flower on it, and these will produce fruit. And usually a lot of people look for these things early in the spring because that tells them when the morel mushrooms are going to be out. There's a spider crawling on my hand. Get off there. And usually it tells you when the morel mushrooms are going to be up. And the morel mushrooms come out early spring, and I haven't found a lot this year. I checked my normal patches and I didn't see a whole lot coming up, but you're always looking for the mayapples when they first start coming up because that's usually a really good indication the morels are popping up as well. And so you're out looking for those things and you see these things. And you're like, what are those things? Mayapples. These produce a little tiny fruit about the size of a golf ball, and they are edible in late summer, or I would say midsummer. Chances are the deer are going to find them before you do. If you go back out to these patches where you found the mayapples, the deer are going to compete for them. The entire plant is basically poisonous. Even the mayapple is poisonous, the fruit that it produces. However, as it turns yellow and then you have late in the midsummer, they are less poisonous, and people actually do eat them. They make jellies out of them, and from what I've understood, I've never tasted them, but they say it's got a pretty good flavor to them. But even the jelly, if you harvest the mayapples in midsummer, if you eat too many of them, they still are poisonous. And so again, I've heard that they have a pretty good flavor. The jelly, if you can make a jelly out of them, it's got a pretty good flavor, but I've never tried it. But you can't eat too much of it. And so basically the whole plant is poisonous. The fruit early on is poisonous. And you're going to compete with the deer to get them. A lot of people will take the entire plant and they'll crush it up into like a poultice, and they'll use it on warts. They say it's pretty good for that. You can make a poultice, put it on the wart. I forgot what the type of wart is called, but it's they say it's really good at getting those. You basically take the poultice and you use a bandage to hold it on, and then tape the bandage over wherever the wart is, and you keep reapplying that every day for like a week, and usually it should make the wart go away, is what they say. I've never tried it, but I don't have any of those warts or anything like that. But they say like a lot of times the warts you get on your feet there's a bug on the inside of the leaf. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, he just flew away. Anyway, the mayapple, a really interesting plant. I know that there are people who are going to comment that said they've had these things, that the fruit is actually tasty. It's like pokeweed, in my opinion, I guess. Pokeweed. People eat pokeweed around here. I just don't get that. I mean, any plant that you have to boil 2 or 3 times over to make it edible, so it's not poisonous. There's so many other things you could be eating that you don't have to do all that work with, that you can eat and not have to worry about it being poisonous. But there are some people out there who just like the pokeweed. They eat the mayapple, and they say it's pretty good. And also, like I said, the deer will be competing for you. The deer like to come up and eat these as well. I don't know if it makes the deer sick or not if they eat too many of them, but I know the deer, if you come up here in the like midsummer, where this flower is, there'll be like a little golf ball sized fruit. And if you find one, and maybe a little bit smaller than a golf ball, and it'll just be snipped off. So all you'll see is like the stem right there, and that tells you that a deer ate it. But yeah, a little tiny flower, pretty flower, just can't eat it. Anyway, mayapples. If you find these mayapples, you usually find them in patches, and the reason you find them in patches is because they're all grown from like a single rhizome. So usually there's like one root in a patch, and all the mayapples that you see in that patch are grown from that one root. And there's a lot of things like that. Maypops are the same way. Maypops, which are like the passion fruit, they call them passion fruit. If you've ever had a Hawaiian punch are flavored with those. But the wild ones, same way. I think they taste pretty good. The cultivated ones taste better, but maypops, when you find those, they're all grown off a single rhizome too. So there's a lot of plants in nature that do that, including these. And so you can take a look at this root here and see there's a rhizome that's coming off there. So there's a main root, and then all the flowers, or all the May apples, are grown off that one root. The tendrils from that one root spring off and go in different directions and then produce these May apples. Also, I think the World Health Organization has classified this plant as an essential medicinal, simply because a lot of pharmaceuticals are taking these plants and using them to offshoot different pharmaceutical drugs. I think they've got a couple cancer drugs that they've formulated off of these plants to treat certain kinds of cancer. They've seen some benefit with that, but you know, who knows what they'll come up with it. I looked and I didn't see a whole lot of other medicinal reasons for you to use it other than the warts, without different types of pharmaceuticals mixed in or not. But you know, supposedly there's a pretty good industry when it comes to these things and developing other drugs from them. Well, I'm out here recording where these May apples are. A whole bunch of May apples over here. There's some more over there. This is actually where I've got some of my deer feeders. Deer feeder there, and I got a salt stump there. You can't see it with those leaves right there. See it right there? They're eating that salt stump. This is a down tree I took down, and some friends of ours during last fall came out and we planted a number of turkey tail mushrooms. It's a medicinal mushroom, and we planted them in this entire trunk, and I'm hoping that by this fall they will start popping, if not this fall, by next spring. And then over here I've got some shiitake mushrooms that are plugged into these logs. We plugged all those logs and put a wax over the top of them, so hopefully we'll get some new shiitakes coming up out of here this fall, if not this fall, next spring as well. And then over here I've got these stumps. These are inoculated with reishi mushrooms. So these are all inoculated with reishi mushroom, which is another medicinal mushroom you can make teas out of, just like the turkey tails, and they say it's really good for cancer. And this is some of the things we did with Jamie. We were trying to get her white blood cell count up, and so we did a lot of teas with the reishi mushroom and the turkey tail mushrooms combined together, and it's the beta glucans inside of that tea from those mushrooms that help increase your white blood cell count, which helps your body attack the cancer. And so we did raise her white blood cell count up dramatically in doing that. However, there's what's called a PD-1 molecule that works inside your body to block your white blood cells from attacking cancer sometimes. And we started doing the astaxanthin about 2 months before she passed away, and it was just too little too late. We didn't know about the PD-1 molecule, and we did see some results from that. However, it was just too late. Her body started shutting down, and so it just didn't work for us. But we did see some really good effects from the astaxanthin combined with the beta glucans, allowing her white blood cells to go to work. The astaxanthin provides what's called a PD-1 blocker molecule and allows those white blood cells to work. Anyway, I got more information on. You can do your own research on all that. Over here is our salt block stump, and I've done videos on this in the past, and the deer are finally into the heartwood of this stump. We put a salt block on here, and over time it sank into the wood, and it should become just one giant salt block, and the deer love it. Absolutely love that. It's a great way to bring deer. On my video cameras that I've put up, I don't have them up right now, but they're in here every day chewing on that stump. And then I've got another stump. I figured I'd show you all this too while we're out here looking at these May apples. I've got another salt block on a stump that I cut down right here, and this salt block was a lot bigger. I figure it'll be gone within the next year, but you can see how it's just crystallized the wood. Salt crystals everywhere, and the deer are now chewing on the wood here. See how the deer have been chewing off this bark? And once this salt block is gone, they'll consume that tree as well, and it'll be just a natural draw for those deer for years to come. So there you go, the May apple. It's kind of windy out here today. You see these things? If you notice where the patches are that you found, and then come back later in midsummer, it's getting to be early summer here now. Temperatures are starting to warm up pretty good here. I'm out in a t-shirt today. If you come back to the patches that you found and find the little fruit, if the deer haven't gotten it first, give it a try. See what you think. Just don't eat too many of them. Eat maybe one You know, just taste it and see what you think. Don't eat the seeds. The seeds are also poisonous. You got to take the seeds out. But if you taste the fruit, or if you have tasted the fruit, leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought. Is it worth harvesting a bunch of these? Is it worth making a jelly out of them? If you've made jelly, please leave a comment below. Let me know how that went. And also, if you got sick from the jelly, I'd love to hear your experience with that. So anyway, the mayapple. There you go. Hope you see some out this summer. Go out and spend some time in the woods and enjoy yourselves. You know, social distancing and all. All right, guys. See you next time on the Homestead. Hey guys, I'm happy to introduce an American Homestead sponsor, Zervita Zeal. Now, first off, I only accept sponsors from products that I use and believe in. My family uses Zeal mainly because we want to ensure a healthy immune system. You see, it's made up of only whole food concentrates and includes no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. The included sweetener is all natural from fruit and the stevia leaf. It's gluten-free, it's vegan, and it's kosher. In 2018, my youngest son was involved in a bike accident that resulted in the surgical removal of his spleen, and that's an important part of his immune system. And because we live on a farm, you can guess that having a healthy immune system for our family is very important. Some of the included ingredients are beetroot, chicory root, turmeric, moringa, blueberries, cranberry, goji berry, milk thistle, ginseng, alfalfa, broccoli, and so much more. It's these natural ingredients that can easily be made into a powerful and tasty drink that my family can make and feel good about. So sign up and give it a try today. Every purchase you make goes to help the homestead so that we can continue to make great homesteading videos for you. Link is in the description below. Go ahead, give it a try. Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American Homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the homestead that we make here on the homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. I'll wait.